Hey, good evening, Midwest Survivor. Time for dinner chat. So first off, I want to say thank you to everybody that is clicking the bell, clicking the like, clicking the subscribe, checking out the Facebook shorts, checking out the TikTok videos, checking out the X post and the Pinterest and Lemon8 post, as well as the YouTube channel. So be sure to click that bell, click the thumbs up, click the like, click the subscribe. Also, I want to give you all an update. I just finished up my 5th book, which is Blood on the Altar. It's a story of corruption, abuses, mistreatment, leadership abuse, and financial and other abuses within the Apostolic Pentecostal Church. That is based on my personal experience, as well as experiences that I witnessed as well as endured from the time I was 6 up until I was 41 years old. So that comes from my experience, as well as being either directly or indirectly witness to years of dysfunction within the Apostolic Pentecostal Church. That is going to be released on Amazon. I finished it up today. I went from 6 chapters all the way to 12. So 12 chapters, and that is going to be released. My other books are always on there as well. Behind the Silence, The Price of the Boy, Death of a Small Town, and Rebuilding After the Storm are on there as well. I've got some other ideas brewing for some other books that will probably be coming later on this year, so be sure and watch. I will be releasing information on that. So tonight's dinner chat, I want to continue the trend of rebuilding. So obviously after last night's dinner, or yesterday's dinner chat, that was talking about rebuilding your life after divorce. So what I want to talk about is, and this is a topic that applies to a lot of people, and that is rebuilding your life after career change. And career change can happen at any age, and the challenges for the career change are always the same. What do you do? How do you handle a situation? How do you refocus yourself? How do you regroup yourself? And whether you're 24, 44, 54, or 64, the questions are always the same. Changing a career always feels like starting over. And whether that change was your choice, or whether it was a decision that was forced upon you either through financial reasons, management reasons, or whatever, it's normal to experience doubt, uncertainty, fear, self-doubt, and even sometimes grief. And just because you undergo a career change does not necessarily mean that your life is over, or that your career, the trade that you've learned is over. It just means that the paycheck is not coming from the place that you normally got it from. And sometimes, a career isn't just a paycheck, it's our identity, it's who we are. And when that chapter ends, it can kind of feel like something within us has died and that we have lost a piece of ourselves. But career change is not the end of your story. Career change is just a new chapter in your story that you are going to have to write. And the ending of one career can often become the beginning of a new and better one, and become a better chapter for you. You can learn to meet new people, learn to do different things, and learn to have new experiences in life. Every skill that you have learned, every challenge that you have endured, is a lesson that you can apply and take to this new career. Every setback that you have survived has prepared you for what comes next. Your experience is the greatest value. Education can teach you and prepare you for so much, but experience is by far the greatest education that any one person can have. And your experience has value. Your work ethic has value. How you do the job, when you do the job, the efficiency with which you do that job is what you can bring to a corporation. So, as I season my sausage, You know, you don't leave those things behind when you undergo a career change. You just change where you employ them at. And that's the most important thing. You know, your work ethic still matters. How you do the job still matters. It just means that your character, that the place where you're getting your paycheck is different now. And you don't leave character behind when you change a job. You take your character with you. You know, character is what will get you that other job. So rebuilding begins by accepting the reality that where you are today is not where you have to stay. You don't have to stay in that position. You don't have to remain in that position. You don't have to endure those things, but you can change your destination and where you are. Rebuilding your life means that sometimes you have to learn new skills, but it also means applying skills that you have learned along the way. So, as always, update your resume. Here's some things that you can do to help yourself grow. Update your resume. Add skills to it. And there are fantastic resources out there that will help you update that resume. ChatGPT is a wonderful resource that will help you update your resume. Also, too, reach out to people by phone that are mentors in your life. And just because you undergo a career change does not necessarily mean that you cut off ties with the people that you've worked with. Sometimes having ties with people that you used to work with will help you better yourself in the long run, in furthering your career and furthering your future with that other job. Most importantly, don't measure your worth by a paycheck, a job title, or where you work. Measure it by what you have learned and what you can apply in your life. Value comes from who you are and what you maintain, not what you do. And that mindset of what you do and how much money you make is a old 1950s, 1960s baby boomers mindset that who you are is what you do, how much money you make, where you work, where you live, and what you possess. And that is a completely bunk, unrealistic mindset. Who you are is not what you do, where you work, how much money you have, or what you possess. Who you are is what is up here, the character that lives in here, and the skills and the abilities that you possess, the talents that you possess. Every successful person in this world has faced a season of transition and change. Milton Hershey was bankrupted several times before he became successful in chocolate. Colonel Harlan Sanders did not become successful until he was 65 years old when he started KFC by using his Social Security check to start his first restaurant. Jeff Bezos and Amazon became successful, I believe, way after he was in his 30s. Men and women are becoming successful much later in life rather than much earlier in life. Success, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, there is no time limit on success. I saw an opportunity several years ago with a business that had closed up, and a business opportunity, and I saw it just as clear as day. And I went to several family members that I felt could help me fund this endeavor, and I could see it plain as day. But the people that I went to had no vision. They had no concept of the success that was going to manifest itself, and they basically talked themselves out of it. I could see what was going to happen, but they refused to see it. And lo and behold, a gentleman bought the business, invested his money wisely, remodeled it, refocused it, reshaped it, relaunched it, and now that gentleman has a successful restaurant that averages 10 to 25 cars every minute going through his drive-through. And he told me what he grosses in revenue, and it completely floored me and shocked me completely. So, just because somebody says no to you does not mean that you let the dream die. You keep that dream alive and you make it happen in spite of the opposition and the negativity that you may face with the job or the dream. Career change is not a reset to zero, but it is a reset to a new location and a new direction in your life. It is a chance to build greater wisdom. It is a chance to refocus your purpose. It is a chance to change your direction into a direction that could lead you into greater and more powerful things. It is a chance to build. It is a chance to recognize, embrace, and head to a future that is still being shaped out and mapped out in your life. The future belongs to those who refuse to let yesterday define today and tomorrow. Remember, your career change, your future, and your potential do not have to define you, but you define the direction in which you go. You define how that chapter is going to end, where you're going to be, how you're going to grow, and what you're going to accomplish. So, Midwest Survivor, as always, I want you to stay encouraged. I want you to stay healthy. I want you to get strong. I want you to be strong. I want you to be healthy, get healthy. I want you to be encouraged, stay encouraged, focus your life, and more importantly, don't let anybody predetermine your success or your failure by their own lack of vision. So Midwest Survivor, as always, stay healthy, stay strong. I'll see you tomorrow morning for Breakfast Bits. Have a great evening.